is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Thank you. Welcome to DBL, everyone. Hello, it's Thursday, March 18th. I'm Tori here with Lindsay and Brandon.
What's going on?
Good to see you both, looking fabulous.
It's not Friday and you're here.
I know. I got bumped up to the varsity team.
Yeah,
today,
baby.
So
Yeah, baby.
You guys down.
All right. Well, we do have a crazy update to that horrible shooting spree you guys are already writing me in. We talked about yesterday. The man accused of killing 8 people in 3 shootings at these Atlanta area spas will face a judge today. Now, he's been charged with 8 counts of murder. We're also learning he had been in rehab for sex addiction, and he was racked with guilt about his sexual urges, according to 2 people who live with him. Meantime, there were Stop Asian hate marches that took place all across the country yesterday, and now there's a lot of talk of what to label this guy because 6 of the 8 people killed were Asian. The other 2 were a white man and a white woman. So was this a hate crime, or is this more actually about misogyny, since he may have actually blamed those women for his sex addiction? Or is this domestic terrorism? The floor is yours, Linz.
I mean, I would like to call this guy what it is. I think a white supremacist who had racist sexual fantasies about Asian women and then acted on them.
Wow.
And so we're not calling it what it is by saying that just because he had all these issues, all I hear is the police making excuses for why he's somebody that has sexual addiction and issues. What does that have to do with killing 8 Asian people, you know, in the middle of a time when Asians are being attacked at an alarming rate? And I think that just to say that and have the police standing up there, and we know we have issues with this police chief.
Which we'll get to, by the way.
Right,
Yeah.
that person standing up there and saying that this has nothing to do with race is absurd.
Brandon, great take.
You know, it's a great take what you said, Lindsay, because when that police chief, like you said, we'll talk about it, came out and said those things, that was kind of expected to me. But going online and watching everyone fight right now on what to label this guy, guy he's a demon. That's what he was. Can we all just come together and say this man is a demon instead of trying to come up and say, hey, he's this type of terrorist or is this type of terrorism? I think this is something when we see evil, everyone, regardless your community, who you feel as though you have to represent, I think we all need to call hate, evil, and this man is a demon.
But I think a lot of people are getting mad because we don't call hate. When it's a Latino, a black, or a Muslim person, then we immediately are talking about why this is terrorism, and we're connecting them and we're looking at their past priors, looking at their school records, looking at every single thing about their childhood life and how it doesn't connect to the crime they may or may not have done, and we immediately cast them as a gremlin and somebody who just is extremely pushed over there. And so I think when we have this white person and we're explaining that they are innocent because they had something they couldn't overcome, I don't want to hear it, right? That's why people are so upset.
I rarely agree with Brandon on this one, and I agree. I just don't care. I don't care. He's evil and hatred, but I think it's important. Semantics do matter because it's a racial thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? We're going to get to that. We do have an update right now. The suspect's hearing has been canceled for today. We are unclear why it has been canceled, but again, we wanted to reiterate the suspect's hearing that was to be held today in front of a judge has been canceled. Well, let's get to this part of it because that's already where we're jumping. Am I right? And a lot of you guys are writing in about this. All right. Cherokee Police Captain Jay Baker, here he is. He's the one who said the suspect in the case, if you didn't know, was having a, quote, really bad day during a press conference. If you didn't see it, we want you to be educated. Here's that moment. Take a look.
He was pretty much fed up and kind of at the end of his rope, and yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
Wow. Now something he posted on Facebook has gone viral. Captain Baker had shared an image of T-shirts that if you read or zoom in closely, it says COVID-19 imported from China, and it's spelled CHYNA. Now the sheriff has not yet commented on the post, which has been taken down. Why are we not monitoring police officers' social media pages? They work for us. Am I right?
I don't get it, Tori, because our executive producer, Bert Dbl, right now has texted me. I've had phone conversations about what I put up on my social media because I represent Daily Blast Live. You are a police sheriff who, regardless of where this virus came from, I have no energy to fight about that right now. You're supposed to be protecting everyone out there. And I understand we have certain jokes and there's certain stereotypes to play into, but you really stepped in it when you come out and you say, oh, he was just having a bad day. You know the internet is going to go back and go try and find something against you.
How emboldened is it to put on Facebook, because you represent Asian people in your citizenry, right, in your constituency, and you get the sense that China, let's not fail to connect those dots, comes from the trope of the coronavirus that has been spread about Asian hate. Am I right?
Right. And I think him saying like having a bad day was really alarming to me, because when I look at all the black people that died in 2020 that might have been having a normal day and just were harassed by police officers that maybe spoke back or maybe didn't speak back. I mean, this man killed people, and once again, he's escorted calmly out of the place where he killed somebody. And so to me, a bad day, and watching somebody who's a leader in the police community that we've we've been having such trouble with as people of color, it's alarming to see this rhetoric come out about this white man who just killed multiple people.
Yeah, and I took a class once in college, and it was about being a discerning reader of newspapers and journalism. And I want to spread that to you. When you hear someone say he had a really bad day, remember what you hear when it's not a white man. You got to really think about that and be a discerning citizen. Those words aren't used. Those mugshots are used instead. So I just wanted to.
And the captions.
Yeah,
the captions.
thank you.
I had a friend go in because some news outlet posted yesterday, 21-year-old, 20-year-old white man kills 8 people.
Right.
So my friend went in and quoted that tweet and was like, white supremacist terrorists.
Change that up.
Change that. That's what we're just asking people.
Yeah.
And that's what, Lindsay, I can see the frustration in you right now, because that's what we're asking. Level the playing field so we can just start calling things out for what they are without. Language matters.
Language matters. I completely agree with you. All right, let's get to some happier news because March Madness is back.
Woo!
Really?
Oh, God.
I think Brandon probably cares more than I do.
I'm the sports guy. I gotta know the
Lindsay
sports
goes,
story.
woo! 4 games begin tonight in the NCAA tournament. This comes after it was canceled last year due to the pandemic. And of course, this year is still very different with all sorts of new COVID protocols, like staging the entire event in one location, Indiana.
Ooh,
Where my Indianians at? That's not how you say it.
Hoosiers.
There you go. And of course, March Madness would not be complete without everybody filling out this thing. It's called the tournament bracket with their favorite teams. And as I do it by the prettiest names, obviously.
So like Loyola versus Gonzaga, you'd pick.
Actually, both of those are lovely.
They're lovely names.
No, but I do care, and I know Michigan's doing very, very well.
Yeah,
So I'm a Wolverine, so I will be putting them at the top.
I really can't believe that Tori is this into this. I thought that we were on the same level of not understanding all sports.
I like this thing, the bracket. I don't know anything about it, but I like the bracket because Obama does it, and like people at work do it, and I get to be part of the club.
For some people, it's the competition. For some people, it's the bracket and the pretty names of the schools. But look, I think people are so excited because I haven't watched a jump shot at all from NBA or college basketball. But I think we're getting our traditions back.
Yeah,
and that's what people are so excited about. March Madness is a huge tradition in the sports world.
And it
but
brings
just
people
for us
together, doesn't
to
it?
Come together.
For the office too. You're right.
I just remember when March Madness got canceled last year, and even as somebody who doesn't really know that much about sports, I was scared then. That was the marker for me. That was like when the NBA and sports shut down, I was like, okay.
You know what it was?
The fact that we're not there is just like a sigh of relief for me.
When I heard that Tom Hanks had coronavirus and the NBA and March Madness shut down, I'm like, this is real.
Right.
This is real.
There's
That's
too much
exactly
money surrounding all those 3 things.
Those 3 things were on the same day.
Wasn't the World Health Organization coming out saying that it was a global pandemic?
Tom Hanks.
Brandon was calling it serious first. As soon as Dr. Coley said it, he was on board.
Good for you. We're very proud of you, Brandon. Coming up on DBL, I'm catching up with my celebrity doppelganger and hero, Jenna Elfman. Could a reboot of Dharma and Greg be in the future? And Utah lawmakers want to block adult content on smartphones. Both sides of this hot debate are coming up next. Stay tuned.
Closed caption.
Welcome back to DBL. A big shout out to our coworkers. Look at Alexa and Jody. Hey, hey, Karen.
That's a March Madness bracket right there.
Look at that. That's true. Tuning in from home during the pandemic. We miss you terribly. Hi, Kiri. It's good to see those faces. Well, a lot of people are now talking about a new law being proposed in Utah. Get this. It would automatically block all adult content on cell phones and iPads that are sold in the state. Supporters say it's a critical step to help parents keep explicit content away from their kids. But some say the law is, what's my favorite word? Unconstitutional. And would be a huge intrusion on free speech.
Let me ask you a question, Tori. Okay, it's unconstitutional, but 12 states have called this adult film content a public health crisis. So can we kind of take away from the Constitution a little bit because this is declared a public health crisis in multiple states?
So the Supreme Court has been super clear about what is obscene and what isn't obscene.
Okay.
And when it is obscene, which is, by the way, the quote is, "I know it when I see it." That's from one of the justices. You can't be at a certain school. You can't be around certain, like you can't have an adult content video store near schools and all that. But if you want free speech, you got to include speech you don't like.
Okay.
And even if that speech is racy, sexy, that is part of what America is about in the conversations that we have. Linz?
So I like if this law was just like dedicated to phones for kids, but then like kids grow up, they might keep their phones. So I don't understand the law being imposed on all cell phones when everybody has like free will. But I really don't understand also how parents, if it's really focused on kids, are monitoring what their kids are doing on their phones and iPads, seeing how many kids I have surrounding my family. It's like, how are you really monitoring, even if you try to, and they know how to use and navigate YouTube? Like when you go to sleep, they know how to navigate
so
around.
So what would you're a mom, okay? You have kids, it's 20, whatever. How do you monitor your kids' phone? Do you take the phone every day?
It's weird because I didn't have a cell phone, honestly, till I was in 11th grade.
Till college.
And so I don't know how, right, and I was probably early. You guys are saying college. So I managed to just be free, ride my bike around, come home before the street lights were on. Like nobody really cared, but everybody says, oh, the world is so bad these days. But I know our parents said that, our grandparents said that, so the world is always so bad. So is it so bad? Do they really need cell phones? But I would be a terrified mom if I didn't give my kid a cell phone.
Right, so what do you do? How do you monitor? Where do you go? Where's the line?
I don't like this banning everything.
Yeah.
Because when you ban something, there are a certain amount of kids out there, me as a young kid, who are going to be like, oh, we can't do that? Well, let me go try and find a way to get to that, to have that experience, whether it be good or bad. And so the fact that one of the organizations that's pushing this bill is saying that a lot of parents don't know how to use that child filter app or whatever it is that's on their phone. Well, then instead of trying to stop everyone from being able to have their free speech or enjoy their First Amendment right, why don't you come with some sort of educational program to teach these parents, hey, this is how you block this content. This is how you put a filter on that.
I know, but you know that kids can outsmart their parents any day with like a whole entire fake home screen. That's like, you know, I know there's a lot of little tricks.
They can, but the responsibility doesn't lie with the adult content industry. That lies with parenting and figuring that out. And I have to say, we are very puritanical in this country in America, and sex is consensual, and that's a legal thing that they do, and people enjoy it, and that's unconstitutional again. All right, coming up on DBL, I'm chatting with actress Jenna Elfman. I love her from her iconic role in Dharma and Greg to Fear the Walking Dead. She's telling us all about it coming up next. So, like Fred Astaire with the camera, this guy. I love it, Rob. Welcome back to DBL. 90s sitcom Dharma and Greg is a classic. And earlier, I got a chance to fangirl with the show's leading lady, Jenna Elfman, in today's cute Chatting with the Stars. Jenna Elfman, welcome to DBL. I first have to get the big question out of the way. With all the reunions happening during the pandemic, can we, as fans, look forward to a Dharma and Greg reunion? Fingers are crossed.
I know your fingers are crossed. Oh gosh, you know, the idea of it is super fun to think about. I don't, you know, it would just have to be as good as the first one, you know? There was just something so special in the chemistry of all involved at that time, you know? So I don't know. I would never say never, but there's nothing in the works at the moment, though I'm thrilled that all 5 seasons are now available on Hulu because everyone gets to enjoy it now. They get to share it with their kids, you know, like Dharma and Greg. Dharma sets such a good example for girls, you know? I think she's a good role model for that, of just, it's okay to be who you are. You don't have to get permission or apologize. Like, just be you, and that's awesome, you know?
Literally, she was a role model for me. I'm a really quirky, weird, I study Buddhism, Jewish, kind of like bizarre chick. And Dharma was like, oh, that's who I am, for the very, very first time.
Well, I train dogs during the day, and then I teach yoga at night. That's enough.
You know, it's actually very relevant, Dharma and Greg, now, because of how divisive our society has become. I think it's a perfect sitcom to rewatch and have a good laugh and realize it's like, it doesn't all have to be so serious.
Did you ever have a chance to catch up with your co-star, Thomas Gibson? When's the last time? You guys are still close, still in contact?
Yeah, so we kind of like, you know, randomly run into each other. I ran into him in the park when he was filming Criminal Minds, and I had my kids, and he came and he pushed my kids on the swing while we caught up really quick between takes. And then that was several years ago. And then I think it was last January, though I'm a little thrown off with the kind of year we've had, and it may have been the year before that. But anyway, we all got together at Susan Sullivan's house, who played Greg's mom. And we did have a reunion, and it felt so good to sit there with everyone. I gave Thomas a huge hug, and we just caught up, and it was great. Everyone was just themselves. No one has changed, and it was really, you know, pleasurable, because there's an essence of each of us in those characters.
Yeah. Well, I did want to ask you about the Fear of Walking Dead, because the pandemic did not stop season 6.
We were in the middle of filming season 6, which returns to AMC on April 11th, which is exciting. And so we did, you know, shut down production for some months while we were all figuring out what was going on. And in October, we were able to return to work and safely and continue filming. It felt so good to be able to be in a creative space again and express myself artistically. And so I just felt unbelievably grateful.
Well, I'm grateful I get to chat with you. You've always been my celebrity doppelganger, as I told you earlier. You've always been a smart, spiritual, interesting, educated chick. And to be honest, that was me. And I was like, I can see myself represented for the first time. So thank you, Jenna Elfman, for being that and for joining us here. And you can also see more of her in new episodes of Fear of the Walking Dead on AMC, or keep it old school like your girl with Hulu and binge out on classic episodes of Dharma and Greg. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for some sweet, sweet deals. Earlier, Steph showed me some amazing products at even better prices. You can get them on your smartphone. Here is this week's DBL Deal Blast presented by MorningSave.com. All right, what do you have for us today, Steph?
First of all, I've got something that will give you that warm and cozy feeling. It's the Great Bay Home 15-pound Sherpa-lined weighted blanket.
Yes.
This is super soft and it disperses the weight evenly across your body. Now, normally, this is as much, are you ready?
Yeah.
As $200. But we've got it for our viewers for only $49, saving up to 76%. Check it out. It's the 24-pack Hask single-use deep conditioning treatment. So we've got the rose oil and peach. It's for color protection. Then we've got coconut milk and honey. Oh, sounds gorgeous. Quenches and controls fizz. And last but not least is the blue chamomile and argan oil for brightening and repairing blonde
Bing,
hair.
bing, 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 bing.
Normally it's as much as $60. We've got it for only $20, saving our viewers 67%. Okay, now Tori, we've all been spending more time at home using video calls to stay in touch. Well, what about an upgrade with this Gabba Goods 1080p HD webcam for computers and laptops? It's got a professional wide-angle lens
that's good.
that gives this camera ultra-clear video with crisp, vibrant color. Normally this is as much as $60, but we've got it for only $19, saving up to 68%. Okay, last but not least, we've got something to keep you jamming to your favorite tunes at home or when you're on the go. It's the iFrog's Airtime Sport truly wireless earbuds. They've got a 25-hour battery life, so you never need to worry about running out of music. They also automatically link to your device once they're removed from the charging case. Normally, these are $80, but we've got them for only $25, saving up to 69%, Tori.
Guys, head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices you know you want to. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. It's easy. It is very easy. Lindsay, you have a little correction to make?
Yeah, I just want to talk about in the Atlanta shooting incident, you know, the officers did apprehend the suspect, so I wasn't saying that he completely didn't get untouched and walked as we saw in other mass shootings.
No,
but I did want to say that he's alive, unlike several black people that did way less in the last year alone. So I wanted to make that correction that he wasn't just casually walked into the station.
But there was no scratch on him, as we see there. I also want to make it clear that the Cherokee police chief was quoting the suspect when he said he had a really bad day, but choosing to use that quote was probably the most insensitive and inappropriate time, don't you think? Yeah. Especially with those T-shirts. DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Thank you.